Oh hey, I didn't see you there. Original joke, I know. But I'm sure you're familiar with, or have at least heard of this thing called the Big Bang Theory. Ew, no, not that. Get it out of my face. But anyway, the Big Bang Theory attempts to explain how the universe began, and it all started around 14 billion years ago when there was nothing. Nothing but an infinitely small, infinitely dense, and infinitely hot speck of all of the matter in our universe. And now, you might be asking yourself, where was this tiny little speck of the universe? And the funny thing about that is, it was nowhere. Because it was everywhere, and everything. And somehow, someway, the universe just began expanding. It was expanding even faster than the speed of light. And that was so fast, in fact, that scientists had to make an entirely new form of time measurement known as Planck time, which is the distance a photon could travel a Planck length at the speed of light, or roughly 5.39 times 10 to the negative 44th power seconds, going from subatomic to the size of a golf ball in the span of 100th of a billionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second. The only real form of matter at this time was light elements that were generated due to the universe's nucleosynthesis, because it was way too hot for any matter to actually form. After around only 1 second of the Big Bang beginning its expansion, these subatomic electrically charged particles known as quarks were formed, and in the same second, the universe expanded to a point where it was quote-unquote cool enough for the first actual types of elements to form, the first being hydrogen. And I say cool in quotations because it was still scorching and plasmatically hot. Is plasmatically a word? Plasmatically isn't a word. But anyway, since the universe was able to create matter, it also created a form of matter known as antimatter. And antimatter are materials made from antiparticles that have the same mass as normal materials, but have opposite charges and properties. When antimatter and normal matter come into contact, they would utterly annihilate each other in a massive explosion around the size of 1 kilogram of the Earth, possibly also releasing radiation in the form of gamma rays. Anyway, let's get back to the Big Bang. And despite what the name implies, the Big Bang wasn't technically an explosion, but rather an instantaneous inflation of all of the matter and energy of the universe, according to Hubble's law of the universe. People found out about this after it was examined that stars and galaxies in the sky were seen to be observed to be spreading apart from each other. After around 200 million years of the Big Bang beginning, stars began to form, and I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with what a star is. Those big luminous balls of light and plasma in the night sky and the sun that rises in the morning and shines light right in my eyes as I wake up, giving me a headache, and I should really just get curtains, but they cost too much, and never mind. Anyway, stars are formed from large clouds of dust particles in space called nebulas, or you can call them by their nickname of star nurseries, if you're one of those people that like humanizing inanimate objects. And they begin to form from dust gravitating towards each other, resulting in clumps of dust collapsing into themselves, which become more and more dense until they heat up into stars. And many of the stars in our universe are so far away that the light we see from them is actually from millions of years ago, as most stars that we see are millions of light years away, which is the distance it takes a light to travel in a year. Our sun, on the other hand, only takes around 8 minutes to get to us, and that's like 65,700 times shorter than a light year.